Coming up on Mountain News at 6, deputies are on the hunt for a man facing burglary and arson charges out of Whitley County. Plus, one supervisor at a coal company in Harlan County reacts to a proposed plan to retire 4 coal-powered plants.
Plus, we are watching out for showers and storms into this evening. Some of those could pack a punch. Those details coming up as Mountain News at 6 starts now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
Good evening again. I'm Steve Hensley. Strong storms are still possible this evening as a cold front moves through, but better weather is on the way. First Alert meteorologist Cameron Aaron joins us now with the latest. Cameron.
Yes, Steve, most of us are dry right now, but if you walk out the door, you can feel that mugginess and that stickiness, and that is why we are watching out for the potential for a few more showers and storms into this evening. A live look over in Pulaski County right now in Somerset, 86 degrees, also a dew point in the middle 70s, so that is air you can wear as you step out the door right now in Pulaski County. And again, most of us are dry on the radar, but notice back to the west over western and central Kentucky, we are watching out for a few more pop-up showers and storms, and that will be the case as we go into the rest of this evening, also into tonight. A closer look at some heavier showers in Rowan County, also Carter County. A few heavy showers not too far away from Interstate 64 at this hour. Now, as this cold front continues pushing east, that could spark a few more showers and storms tonight, also into this evening. And again, some of those could pack a punch with heavy rain and gusty winds, the main threats. However, we can never rule out some small hail or a quick spin-up tornado. And that is why we have a level 2 risk of severe weather in place across the entire region. I do think for the next 4 to 5 hours that will be our main threats, and again we will keep a close eye on that into this evening, also into early parts of tonight, but some nice weather on the way. Those details coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
Cameron, thank you. Police in southern Kentucky are looking for an arson suspect who they say escaped from a hospital after being stabbed in another incident. Police in Whitley County say Cody Dean tried to burn his grandmother's home after stealing from her. The drama took place near the Kentucky-Tennessee line south of Williamsburg. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has been following what took place near Jellicoe, Tennessee.
The Whitley County Sheriff says this has been somewhat of a chess match with Cody Dean, going back and forth between the Kentucky and Tennessee state line and then trying to locate where exactly he may be. And most recently, they say the crime he committed was against his own grandmother.
Like I said, it's just one thing after the other with him, and it's keeping our resources tied up that we got limited resources anyway.
Police say 18-year-old Cody Dean has been in a lot of trouble for such a young person. They say that he's committed numerous thefts, and during the most recent one, he started several fires after stealing a television set from his grandmother.
He punched TV and took it outside and threw it in the yard. He then set some items in the yard on fire in the driveway. After that, he took some clothes, set them on fire, and went up and put them in next to our house where it would burn.
Fire was put out by another relative sometime after this. While police were looking for him in both states, they say that he showed back up at his grandmother's house with stab wounds.
He had been stabbed once through the arm and a small one maybe in his back.
He was airlifted then to a Tennessee hospital where police say he ran off after being treated. They say that he's hard to keep contained and out of trouble.
He's been a real nuisance to us on the southern end of the county with burglaries and thefts and everything else.
The Whitley County Sheriff tells me that he's been working with authorities in Jellicoe, Tennessee in attempts to locate Cody Dean. He says it is very tragic that such a young man is already involved in so much trouble. In Whitley County, Phil Pendleton, now back to you.
Phil, thank you. Police say they have multiple warrants out for Cody Dean, including arson. A Magoffin County man is dead after trying to restore electricity this past weekend. Jamison Hall of Salyersville died last Saturday after suffering injuries which led to his death. Hall was working near Preston Highway at Loretta Street in Louisville when the incident happened. The cause of death was described as consistent with a high voltage electrocution by the Jefferson County Coroner's Office. Hall was only 29 years old. One woman is recovering following a weekend crash in Wayne County. It happened last night at the Belden intersection in Monticello. 72-year-old Linda Slavin of Monticello was driving an SUV through the intersection westbound on Highway 90 As she was doing so, another driver was turning into the intersection heading eastbound when that driver hit Slavin's car. Slavin was taken to Wayne County Hospital for treatment. We do not know her condition. Police are asking for your help finding one of the vehicles involved in a hit-and-run crash this past weekend. Deputies with the Floyd County Sheriff's Department posted on Facebook that the truck was involved in the crash yesterday on Route 194 near the Cow Creek Free Will Baptist Church. If you know where the truck and driver might be, you're asked to call the Sheriff's Department at 606-886-6711 or Floyd County Dispatch at 606-886-6171. The coal industry is a large part of mountain history. While power companies are switching to cleaner energy sources to help the planet, some say it is hurting miners and mines across the region. WYMT's Madison Carmouche spoke with JRL Coal about what energy source changes mean for them and the industry.
Whether you are a coal miner or you know a coal miner, the mountain culture is intertwined with the coal industry.
That's what we've, all been raised on. I'm like a third, fourth generation miner, and that's, what you was raised on and how the way of life was.
As coal plants retire and coal mines close, the economic effects can be felt by many people, and not just those who work in the mines.
Coal miners at certain mines, they'd pick out one store, and everybody, all three shifts, would go to that same store. When those mines shut down, that short time, the store shut down too.
When a mine shuts down, miners have to find other work, which may lead them away from southeastern Kentucky.
They're going to get other jobs. They can work in any industry. A guy that can be a coal miner can do anything. And when there's no work in coal, he's going to leave. And that's just taking the heart and soul right out of the mountains.
Shepard says he is worried about how the rapid closing of mines and plants will impact the electric grid and not just miners.
These plants closing is something that it's getting to the point where it's not only affecting coal miners, it's going to affect everyone. We're going to see it in our utility bills. We're going to see it in, hot summers, cold winters. There's going to be maybe times where we don't have power.
In Harlan County, Madison Carmouche, WYMT Mountain News.
Those at JRL Coal say the industry is like a family no matter what county they work in. They say the community cannot afford to lose people because of the industry diminishing. Last summer's flood and recent fires have made many Eastern Kentuckians find other places to live. WYMT's Chandler Wilcox talked to some housing experts about precautions people can take as they look at new homes.
There are a few steps that can be beneficial before moving into a new home. Professional inspectors can help.
A lot of folks don't want to get under their house. They don't want to crawl around if it's on a crawl space. And that's something that a home inspector will do.
Fire safety is important as well, which does not just include smoke alarms and fire extinguishers.
Things people really like, those double-sided deadbolts. You have to have a key to unlock. Fire safety people will tell you that those are deadly because in a fire, if you don't happen to have your key with you, you may not be able to find it.
If you are renting, a lease agreement can provide something to fall back on.
They outline both to the landlord and the tenant what their obligations are, what their rights are, what to do if there's issues with the apartment, as well as what happens if, there's a lease violation.
Mullins says they see many tenants with word-of-mouth leases, but documents allow more security.
The key to a lot of this is keep a paper trail of every transaction, your conversations with your landlord, and in addition, if you're paying cash to your landlord for your rent, get them to give you receipts, or instead write them checks, get them money orders, what have you.
With a signed document and inspections, finally closing a door with your belongings behind it can feel safer. In Hazard, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
Scott McReynolds also said that consistently checking your dryer for lint can be important because dryer fires are more common than many realize.
Well, some storms are possible into this evening, but some good news, drier air is on the way. All those details coming up. Plus,
a year after being hit hard by the flood, members of one Floyd County church are asking for help in trying to restore it.
WYMT News.